Welcome back to Motivational Repo, your go-to source for strategies that empower your life. Today, we're tackling a monster that lives in all of us, procrastination. But don't worry, we have the perfect weapon to slay it for good. It's a simple, yet incredibly powerful technique called the 2-minute rule. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll have an actionable guide to reclaim your time and energy, and finally beat laziness forever. Have you ever had a big goal, like writing a book, learning a new language, or starting a fitness routine, only to find yourself staring at a blank page or an untouched yoga mat day after day? You're not alone. The biggest obstacle to achieving our dreams isn't a lack of talent or desire, it's the simple act of starting. Think about it in terms of physics. To move a heavy object from a standstill, you need to overcome static friction, which is the force that keeps it in place. This initial push requires the most energy. Once the object is in motion, kinetic friction takes over, and it's much easier to keep it moving. Our brains work in a very similar way. The resistance we feel when we think about starting a big, daunting task is a form of mental static friction. This is where the 2-minute rule comes in. The rule is brilliantly simple. When you start a new habit, it should take less than 2 minutes to do. It's about making the act of starting so laughably easy that you can't say no. Instead of trying to force yourself to meditate for 30 minutes, your new habit is to take out the meditation cushion. Instead of study for my exam for 3 hours, your new habit is to open my notebook and review 1 page. You see the pattern here? The goal isn't to achieve the entire task at once. The goal is to master the art of showing up. This approach works because it directly attacks the friction point. It reduces the overwhelming feeling of a huge commitment into a tiny, manageable, 2-minute action. Your brain no longer sees the task as a giant mountain to climb, but as a single, easy step to take. When you consistently take that first step, something magical begins to happen in your brain. You are essentially rewiring your neural pathways. Every time you successfully complete your 2-minute task, your brain gets a small hit of dopamine, the feel-good neurotransmitter. This creates a positive feedback loop. Your brain starts to associate starting the task with a feeling of accomplishment and reward, rather than dread and resistance. You begin to build what we call identity-based habits. You're no longer just a person who wants to be a writer, you're a person who writes every day, even if it's just for 2 minutes. You're not just someone who wants to be fit, you're someone who puts on their running shoes every morning. This shift in self-perception is the key to making a habit stick. Let's break down how you can apply this to your own life. First, pick a goal you've been procrastinating on. It could be anything: tidying your home, learning to play the guitar, or building a new skill for your career. Now, break it down. What is the absolute smallest, 2-minute action that will get you started? If you want to clean your entire apartment, your 2-minute rule might be put 1 dish in the dishwasher or wipe down 1 counter. If your goal is to read more, your rule isn't read a chapter a day. It's read 1 page. The beauty of this is that once you start, you'll often find you want to keep going. Once you've read 1 page, it's easy to read another, and then another. The initial resistance is gone. You've overcome the static friction, and now you're in motion. But even if you don't continue, you've still won. You showed up. You reinforced the habit of starting, and that is the most important victory. Think of this as a gateway habit. The 2-minute rule isn't the end goal, it's the entrance ramp to the highway of productivity. It's the ritual that precedes the routine. Over time, you can gradually expand. Once put on my running shoes becomes automatic, you might naturally decide to go for a short walk. Once that becomes a habit, a short jog feels like the next logical step. You scale up only when you're ready, without pressure. This process of habit stacking and gradual progression ensures that you never feel overwhelmed. You are building momentum brick by brick, 2 minutes at a time. The initial resistance that once seemed insurmountable becomes a distant memory. Let's be clear, the point isn't to only ever work in 2-minute increments. The point is that a habit must be established before it can be improved. If you can't get yourself to start, you'll never have the chance to optimize. So many of us make the mistake of starting with a grand, perfect plan. We say, I'm going to the gym for an hour, 5 days a week, starting Monday. By Wednesday, we're exhausted, sore, and our motivation has vanished. The 2-minute rule is the antidote to this all-or-nothing mindset. It embraces the power of small, consistent actions. It teaches us that progress, not perfection, is the goal. Showing up for 2 minutes is infinitely better than not showing up at all. Your brain starts to crave this feeling of productivity. The task that once induced anxiety now brings a sense of calm and control. You are proving to yourself, one 2-minute action at a time, that you are the kind of person who follows through. So, I challenge you today. Pick one thing you've been putting off. Just one. Now, define your 2-minute rule for it. What is the tiny, almost effortless first step you can take right now? Want to organize your finances? Your rule is open my banking app and look at one transaction. Want to start journaling? Your rule is write one sentence about my day. Do it right after you finish this video. Experience for yourself how powerful it is to simply begin. Don't worry about what comes next. Just focus on starting. That's your only job. The journey to beating laziness forever doesn't start with a giant leap, it starts with a single, tiny step. The 2-minute rule is your guide to taking that step, again and again, until you're running towards your goals. Thank you for joining us on Motivational Repo. If this video helped you, please hit that like button and subscribe for more content designed to help you build a better life. Share in the comments what your first 2-minute rule will be. Let's start building momentum together.